What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Leon Maz from Leon Talks TV. So today I want to chat about something that comes up a lot in dating, and that is preference. You know, the things we look for in a partner. For example, some women want a guy really tall, makes a good salary, has no kids, and is ready for a serious relationship and handles all her needs. There's nothing wrong with women having these preferences. Everyone should be able to choose what they want since they will be the ones interacting with that person. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. We all have our own likes and dislikes when it comes to who we want to date. But there are some things we need to talk about, especially when it comes to how people react to those preferences. Chapter 1, Woman's Preference. First, let's talk about women's preferences. It's totally okay for women to have a list of qualities they want in a man. Everyone should be able to choose what they want because they will be the ones spending time with that person, whether it's looks, whether it's income or personality. It's all part of finding a good match. Chapter 2, the double standards. Now here's where it gets tricky. When women have standards, it's often accepted. Women can vocalize their high expectation and preferences when it comes to men. I mean, we hear it all over the internet. They often include wanting a partner who's at least 6 feet tall and earn a 6-figure salary. Now, for example, if I talk about the black community, now, you may hear black women can happily say they want a dark-skinned man or a man of a darker complexion over a light-skinned man or even a white man. Personally, I think that's okay. And I feel like you should be able to freely state what you want, even if it comes down to race or even complexion. And that goes for white people saying they want white people, black people, they want black people, people want darker skin complexion. I personally don't have an issue with that. Personally, I think that's okay. I've literally approached certain women who've told me I'm too light for their liking. I'm too light for them. They prefer darker skinned men. And I am absolutely fine with that. I'm okay with that. But here's a double standard though. Black men of all shades of complexions cannot dare to state that they have a preference when it comes to race or complexion, unless it's for a dark-skinned woman. I mean, I've seen this on reality shows like Love Island, where a black guy chooses a lighter woman or even a mixed race woman or even a white woman over a dark-skinned woman and faces immense scrutiny and outrage in the public, all over the blogs, saying things like, he's a snow bunny lover, Dr. Umar would not approve of this, oh, it's self-hate, he must not like his mother, all because he didn't pick the woman of the darker shade. But is it only black love, only convenient when it's the black man choosing the black woman? Because a black woman choosing a white man is always celebrated. Like, you go, girl, do your thing. So women shame men for having their own preferences. It's perfectly acceptable for a woman to set standards for the man she wants. But when a man expresses his preference, he often faces criticism. For instance, if you walk into a room full of women and say you won't date someone who has kids, is divorced, or is even out of shape, or is older than 35 years old, you might find yourself facing an angry backlash. They might label you as insecure, call you lame, question your masculinity, or even ask who hurt you. You see, I was once in this relationship. Well, it wasn't serious. We were more like friends with benefits. However, she liked me more than I liked her. Deep down, she did. So at times, I could be honest with her about certain things because we had that kind of relationship where we could talk about anything and we were comfortable around each other. So whenever we talked about the women I found attractive within our circle of friends, because she didn't really know all the women that I found attractive because I could only base this off the women that we both knew. So she noticed the women that I found attractive within our circle of friends, they were all slim. And she would always shame me for that. Even though she wasn't slim herself, she was a BBW, but everything was in the right place, if you get what I mean. So this was the first time I actually witnessed the shaming tactic being used on me before I even knew what that phrase meant. I remember thinking to myself, like, damn, man, like, let it go. Why do you keep bringing it up? You know, I've never been a man to have a specific type when it comes to body types, as long as everything wasn't intact. I think maybe body type might have changed now as I've grown older. But regardless, whether it would be complexion or even race, I don't have a specific type when it comes to that. But I remember even thinking to myself back then, even if I do like slim girls, so effing what? Like, a man can like what he likes, and he shouldn't be shamed for that. Chapter 3, efforts in relationship. Next, let's talk about efforts. Sometimes women want these perfect guys but aren't willing to put in the work to attract them. It's important for both people in a relationship to put in the effort. If you want someone who meets your standards, you should also be ready to improve yourself and show what you can offer. Chapter 4, men's preferences. Men's preferences matter too. Let's not forget that men have preferences too. Whatever a guy likes, tall women, curvy women, or any other type, that's his choice. Just like women should feel free to want what they want, men should feel the same way. It's about finding someone who makes you happy, and that's personal for everyone. So in conclusion, having a preference in dating is normal for both men and women. It's okay to want certain things in a partner, but it's also important to understand that respect each other's choices. At the end of the day, we just want to find someone who makes us feel good. And remember, at the end of the day, no matter how much shaming tactics or how many people get shamed for their preferences, you can't force attraction onto people. And I see that a lot, especially over the internet. So let's just learn to respect our preferences. Although that could be wishful thinking, but it's always worth a try. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more discussions like this. Salute.